to all of my Libras out there. So, by the way, if this reading, okay, sounds like you, please make sure to hit me up at Kareemspiritworks@yahoo.com so we can get you a personalized reading. The prices to that, as well as my email address, are in the description box below. I also have a $35 one, okay, for 15 minutes, just to, make sure that it's consistent. 15, 30, 45 hour, right? 15-minute intervals. And the $35 one, since a lot of y'all like talking about love, $35 one is strictly about love. Right, if you'd like for me to go into more detail on that, right, where you think that you may need a longer time, longer than 15 minutes, then you want to go ahead and go with the 30, 45, or the hour. So let's get into it. Oh, by the way, please make sure to get my book at Amazon and BarnesandNoble.com, all right? If you're really trying to understand world history, European royalty, then definitely make sure to get that book from the beginning to the end, right? Written by me, Kareem Ramer L. So the cards that I come up with for the Libras are the Queen of Cups, the Hangman, the Nine of Wands, the Moon, the Five of Wands, the Judgment, the Six of Cups, wow, the Wheel of Fortune, wow, the Five of Swords, and last but not least, we have the Seven of Swords. So for the Libras, no major arcana that represents Libra, all right? Not in this reading anyway. So what I'm seeing here for the Libras, right? The Queen of Cups, the Hangman, and the Nine of Wands. First and foremost, these three cards are about how, just kind of how the status of how some of your relationships have went, right? This shows that a lot of you Libras have been a little bit more reflective as to how they've went. The Queen of Cups, you want something. You want a real functional relationship, but the Hangman and the Nine of Wands, some of you Libras are not necessarily so willing. Some of you Libras are not necessarily very willing to be in a functional relationship. Sometimes Libra, can be scared of that, right? So as air signs, what a lot of y'all will do is you'll kind of keep the person out there at a certain distance, okay? And the Hangman and the Nine of Wands, this is part, right? The Hangman is you get yourself into a lot of intense relationships, but not for a very long time. Nothing sustainable that works for you because of the fear of the uncertainty that you have. And why that's not a very good sustainable practice for you Libras to understand is if you want to be in a real relationship, it is a risk. I'm gonna just put it on out there. It is a risk, but at the same time, you're gonna have to take that risk if a functional relationship is what it is that you really want. Plain and simple, because the Moon and the Five of Wands represents the consequences of not doing that. And the consequences you'll technically be defensively safe, right? Because you won't let anybody in. You'll be playing these games and stuff like this to not necessarily let anybody in. But you Libras got to understand that since this is the case, though, what will happen next is, for you Libras, what will happen next is anyone, no matter the zodiac sign, but we're talking about Libra right now. If you Libras decide to do that, ultimately the outcome is, because I'm trying to teach a point, but if you Libras decide to do that, is the outcome will be you Libras being by yourselves and being safe in that way, where you're not going to be hurt because you're not in a relationship. But if you want to be in a relationship, you're going to have to take that chance. So, and not being in a relationship may end up hurting y'all as well, right? Because you want to be in one. Now, the Judgment and the Six of Cups, right? The Judgment, the Six of Cups, and the Wheel of Fortune represents, the Judgment is, you're going to have to start, again, it's very simple. You Libras are going to have to start understanding that if you want a real functional relationship, it will be uncertain with the people who are worthy of a relationship by nature, and that the people who you're able to kind of fit in that box, the ones that you're able to easily identify that it's not a very good, well, sustainable, working relationship, you're going to have to learn to leave those people alone. The Six of Cups and the Wheel of Fortune is because it's very appropriate, because this represents for you Libras that it's always going to be a revolving, a stair wheel. You know, a stair wheel for the ship, a wheel for the ship, where it's going to go around and around and around. And as a result of this, it's going to be this circuitous circle. It's going to be this circuitous situation for you Libras, where if you don't learn how to take risks, if you don't learn how to understand that, yes, love is going to be for the people who are afraid of getting hurt. Yes, it is going to be frightening, but if you want to be in a relationship, you're going to have to be in a relationship knowing that you're taking a risk anyway. That's the point. And for you Libras who don't want to take that kind of risk, it shows that ultimately you missed 100% of the swings that you don't take. So the Five of Swords and the Seven of Swords represents how this is a situation for you Libras now, where the next step for you is to understand ultimately what it is that you really want. Do you really want to be in a functional relationship? If you do, the good ones, they're going to scare you. But at the same time, right, you're going to have to actually take that chance. You know, a lot of people end up getting scared. Let's clarify the Six of Cups. The Six of Cups represents someone will return. That's why I was saying that for you Libras, this is why it is that you will be in a situation where you're caught up in that wheel, that, you know, that doing it over and over and over again, not actually going on to a new cycle or anything better, because the people who you're on that wheel with are the people who are dysfunctional to be around. Let's clarify the Six of Cups. Page of Wands, Seven of Wands, Two of Pentacles. So this is a situation for a lot of you Libras where, again, you have to get rid of the old to step into a new cycle. And the Seven of Wands is you're going to have to actually put in some form of effort for you to get yourselves into a new healthy cycle that you want. And then you have the Two of Pentacles. Some of you, right, this procedure is not necessarily for the faint of heart. The Libras who decide to travel outside of your comfort zone, you will reap the rewards and you'll start to see it. That's it.